Is this thing on? It is. All right, and welcome back to the Bandwagon Sports Show. I'm your host, DaRock, and I'm going to be giving my NFL Week 6 picks. We're here with another picks video. 2 weeks ago, I had a really good week, went 11-5, and then last week, didn't get a chance to post a video last week, but every week I do have my picks posted on the Blitz Sports Media website, so my picks there went 7-7. So that now brings us to 41-37 on the year, so a little bit over 500. Like I said, 500 week last week. So honestly, that's just kind of what we're shooting for. You know, if we can have another 11-5 week like 2 weeks ago when we had a video. My apologies for no video last week. I was on vacation, but we are back. More videos. A lot of videos coming soon. You know, baseball, my Yanks. Good win for them today. They're up 2-1 in their series, so hopefully some baseball content coming soon here, as well as basketball right around the corner. Hockey started this week, so lots of content coming here on the Bandwagon Sports Show. And if you're a fan of just any sports, make sure to drop a like on the video. Comment, your favorite sports or your picks for these games, and make sure to subscribe because, like I said, a lot of content coming. So I appreciate y'all for supporting. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so getting into the picks here, we start first with the Thursday night game with the 2-3 San Francisco 49ers heading to the 3-2 Seattle Seahawks. San Francisco's a 3.5 point favorite in this game with the total set at 49.5. And San Francisco, they're banged up, no Christian McCaffrey, but another bad loss this past weekend against a division team where it looked like they had it in hand, and then all of a sudden the Cardinals came back on them late. But Seattle, I was pretty high on Seattle, but now 2 straight losses after starting 3-0, lost now 2 straight, losing to Detroit on Monday Night Football 2 weeks ago. Understandable, I saw that coming, but did not see them losing the Giants last week. So not as high on Seattle as I once was. San Francisco, I think they're good. I think they're just injured, and last week was just a tough result. So I'm going to go with 49ers to win this one. I'm going to go 24-20. Next pick, we have the London game. Second week in a row here with a London game. And honestly, I don't mind the London games. A little early, a lot of football, especially if, like last week, I know the Miami-Cal game ended at nearly 2 a.m. Eastern, and then, the London game starts at 9:30 Eastern, and then with the delay, Sunday Night Football went all the way to 1 in the morning. So a lot of football at the London game, but honestly, it's kind of working out well. Good balanced schedule here with the Thursday night game, the London game, then you got like six noon games, four late games, and then Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football. So I've liked the layout here the NFL's had the past couple of weeks. And London game this week, you have the Jaguars, who second year in a row now here are playing 2 straight games in London. So this is the first one, and they're taking on Chicago Bears. So Jags are 1-4, Bears are 3-2. Bears are 2 point favorites right now with the over/under set at 44.5. Now, the Bears, they've been playing well as of late. Good win, looked really good against Carolina. Carolina not very good, so take that what you will. But they've definitely looked a lot better. Caleb Boone's been progressing every single week. But the Jags, they finally got on the board with their first win last weekend against the Colts. So that was a good win for them. And they're just very experienced. Like I mentioned, they play multiple games in London every year. And I think that's kind of why, they're going to have the time change to travel, have that kind of routine down. For the Bears, could be a little bit learning experience with that being a younger team, a lot of rookies on that team. So I'm actually going to go with Jacksonville. Jacksonville pull out the upset here. I'm going to have the Jags taking this one. I'm going to go 24-21. Then next on the docket, we have the Ravens and the Commanders. Ravens are 3-2, Commanders 4-1. Baltimore is a 6.5 point favorite in this one with the over/under set at 51.5. Jaden Daniels for the Commanders has been looking like the rookie of the year so far. He's been playing really well. It's a big reason why the Commanders have been winning all these games. But the Ravens, they've looked pretty good the last 2 weeks. 2 big wins over AFC opponents, critical AFC opponents in the in the Bills, and then come from behind, like shootout game last week against the Bengals. So as you can see, the Ravens they're accustomed, they're capable of playing these shootout games, just kind of like the Commanders are as well. But I'm going to go with a little bit more experience, the veteran team here, who they're hot, and Washington also hot, but Baltimore more hot, three straight wins actually after starting 0-2. So give me the Ravens to win this one. I'm gonna go high scoring affair. I'm gonna go 35-28. Then we move on. The Green Bay Packers. They host the Arizona Cardinals. Green Bay's 3-2. The Cardinals are 2-3. Packers are 5-point favorites in this one with a total set at 47.5. So Jordan Love is back. Packers, they won last week against the Rams. Good win for them. Cardinals, like I mentioned, good win as well. Comeback win against the 49ers. But this is a West Coast team, Pacific team. Cardinals usually always play in the late slot, especially, if they're at home, they play in the late slot. So now they got to travel, not fully across the country, but to a different time zone. Play at noon Central Time, where Green Bay plays, which is 10 a.m. Arizona time. So there's always a bit of a time adjustment, and it's just so hard to win in Lambeau Field. So I'm going to go the Packers in this one. I'm going to go Packers 31-24. Then we head to Foxborough. The New England Patriots, 1-4. They host the 4-1 Houston Texans. Houston is a 7-point favorite in this one with the over-under set at 38. Texans had a really good win against the Bills last week with a game-winning field goal at the buzzer. C.J. Stroud, he's been playing really well, hooked up with Nico Collins for a long ball. Then Collins left the game after that. But he was tossing the ball around the yard. He's been finding Diggs, been finding Tank Dell, been finding all his guys. New England, on the other hand, they had that good win week 1 against Cincinnati. People thought, maybe they'll be better than expected, but 4 straight losses since. Drake May, the rookie they drafted 3rd overall, he's getting the start this week, and I don't think it's be easy going for him. I think, there's definitely going to be a learning period here, a bit of an adjustment, so I'm going to go with Houston to win this one. I'm going to go Houston wins 28-13. So next we head to an NFC South battle here between the 3-2 Buccaneers taking on the 2-3 New Orleans Saints. The Bucs are a 3.5-point favorite in this one with the total set at 41.5. So Tampa Bay coming off a tough loss on the road against another division opponent, the Falcons, in overtime. That was a really good game. Kirk Cousins played really well, so is what it is. Baker Mayfield played well too. It was a shootout between both teams. You like to get some more stops if you're the Buccaneers defense, but is what it is. Saints, on the other hand, did not look too great. Lost against Kansas City on Monday Night Football. So while Tampa Bay is going to have a long week, New Orleans has a short week. Derek Carr's most likely not playing. So it's going to be tough sledding for the Saints in this one. And I also just think Tampa Bay is a really good team. That's a game that they very easily could have won last week. I think if they play Atlanta again, I'd probably take Tampa Bay to win, but it could go either way. So I'm going to go with the Buccaneers to win this one. Give me Tampa Bay, and I'm going to go by a score of 24-14. And moving on to the 1-4 Cleveland Browns, head to Philadelphia, take on the 2-2 Philadelphia Eagles. Philly is a 9-point favorite currently with the over-under set at 42.5. Things have gone as bad as possible for the Cleveland Browns this year. Another loss last week, falling to the Commanders. Not even close game, 34-13. Commanders blew them out. I'm seeing online, I'm not sure if this is totally true, that Jameis Winston's going to be playing this week for the Browns. That's how bad it's gotten. Philly's coming off a bye. They had a lot of time to prepare for a pretty bad team. So it's a pretty easy pick for me in this one. I'm going to go with the Eagles to win it, and I'm going to go by a score of 24-14. Then the next one, we have another division matchup. This time the AFC South variety. We have the 2-3 Indianapolis Colts heading to the 1-3 Tennessee Titans. The Titans are 2.5-point favorites in this one with the over-under set at 43. So Tennessee was on bye last week. The Colts gave another division rival, the Jaguars, their first win and a high-scoring one. So not a great week for the Colts defense. Good week for their offense, but not so much for the defense. Well, good thing for them, Will Levis really has not looked great for Tennessee. And this is one where I'm actually going to take the underdog. I don't really know. I guess maybe a home field thing is why Tennessee's favored in this one, but I'm definitely leaning the Colts in this one. I like the Colts a lot better. Maybe not a lot better. That might be a bit extreme, but I think the Colts are the better team. I think they bounced back after a tough loss last week, so give me Indianapolis to take this one. Now we move to the late slate. At 4:05, the Denver Broncos, 3-2, host the 2-2 LA Chargers. AFC West battle here. Chargers are 3-point favorites with a over-under set at 35.5. Broncos are rolling as of late, man. Another good win for them this past week, taking down the Raiders 34-18. They beat the Bucs a couple weeks ago, and I didn't think they were going to. So three straight wins for the Broncos is a really good start. They're playing well. The Chargers, on the other hand, they started 2-0, lost their last two before the bye this past week. So I think I'm going to keep riding. I'm going to go with the hot hand. I'm going to go with the Broncos to take this one, and I'm going to go 24-14. We head to another AFC West team taking on an AFC North team. The 3-2 Pittsburgh Steelers head to the 2-3 Las Vegas Raiders. Steelers are currently 3-point favorites in this one with an over-under set at 36.5. So like I just mentioned, Raiders lost last week to the Broncos. Steelers, tough loss to them on Sunday Night Football. Offense didn't look great in the first half, but bounced back in the second half. But while their defense did stand tall for most of the game, forcing a couple turnovers, couldn't get one late when it mattered, couldn't get the stop. So Dallas walked into Pittsburgh, got the W. The Raiders, man, this is just another tough team to figure out. Devontae Adams sounds like he wants out of Las Vegas, probably will not play another snap for the Las Vegas Raiders. And just kind of with all that turmoil, sticking over their heads, it's just kind of hard for me to see the Raiders to win these games. So I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one. I think, like I said, the Raiders' offense just isn't prolific enough where this can be a low-scoring game, and the Steelers are better suited to win low-scoring games. It kind of puts less pressure on their offense to produce, because if their defense is just dominating, they don't have to score as many points to win. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers in this one. I think it'll be a close one. I could definitely, maybe see it coming down to the last session or something. Pittsburgh gets a big stop, or maybe they do have a nice drive to win it. So I'm gonna go with Steelers win this one 21-20. And moving to a 325 matchup. This is kind of an odd one to be at 325. Division game between the 3-2 Atlanta Falcons heading to Carolina, taking on the 1-4 Carolina Panthers. Atlanta is a 6-point favorite in this one with the total set at 47. So like I mentioned just previously, Atlanta, really good win. The Kirk Cousins primetime, that he can't perform primetime, that narrative needs to go away. Another good primetime game for Kirk, leading a couple drives to tie the game, then win it in overtime for the Falcons. Carolina, on the other hand, just got absolutely dominated by Chicago last week. Did not look good at all. They are now coming home. But Atlanta, like I kind of mentioned from Tampa Bay, Atlanta has a long week, a lot of time to prepare. I also just don't think Carolina's very good. And Atlanta might be, they were my pick to win the NFC South for the year. It's looking like a pretty good pick right now. So I'm going to go with the Falcons win this one. Give me Falcons 28-17. Then the final afternoon game, we have the 3-1 Detroit Lions head to the 3-2 Dallas Cowboys. The Lions are currently a 3-point favorite in this one with a total set at 52. So Detroit coming off a bye after a nice win 2 weeks ago against the Seahawks. And like I just previously mentioned, the Cowboys, clutch win late on Sunday Night Football. Dak Prescott didn't play great, but he led a drive at the end. They got it done, won the game for the boys. So they're sitting at 3-2. This is one that I kind of was debating. I could go either way in this one. At first, I was thinking Dallas, since they were at home. But then I just really remember they have not really played super great at home as of late. I feel like a lot of teams have gone into Dallas and beaten the Cowboys. The Lions, they kind of already had their letdown game early in the year here against Tampa Bay. So I don't think that happens again for the Lions. I think Goff and Amon-Ra, they have another good game hooking up. I mean, Jared Goff literally didn't throw a single incomplete pass his last game. So I don't think he does that again. But if he can still, keep slinging the rock like he has been, I think the Lions take this one. I'm going to go close one. I'm going to go Lions to win it 28-24. Now we move on to the Sunday night game. We have the 1-4 Cincinnati Bengals heading to the 2-3 New York Giants. Bengals are currently 3.5-point favorites in this one with a total set at 48. So the Bengals lost a shootout to Baltimore this past week, a game that they very easily could have won, just couldn't get some stops. Their defense has been atrocious this year, missed a field goal in overtime. Giants, on the other hand, they've been surprising. They've won last week against Seattle, had a nice win a couple weeks ago against Cleveland. And Cleveland's not very good. But this is one of those where I am going to go with the home team just because like I'm just out on Cincinnati. Like I was so high on them coming into the year, and like I wanted to keep backing them all these spots, and I just keep getting burned. So I just can't do that anymore. I'm gonna go with the Giants. Take this one. I can see Malik Neighbors having a pretty big game like he did a couple weeks ago in their other win. So give me the Giants. Take this one. I'm gonna go 27-24. And then the final game of the week, another game at MetLife Stadium, but this time the AFC East team plays host as the 2-3 New York Jets host the 3-2 Buffalo Bills. Bills are currently 2.5-point favorites with the over-under set at 41. So the Jets did not look good in their loss in London last week to the Vikings. Close game, but overall just did not play well. And Aaron Rodgers, man, he needs to step up because he's definitely the one that got Robert Saleh fired this past week. And you know what? Sometimes that new coach can give you a bump. Buffalo, they played well last week. They were in the game against the Texans, but just weren't able to pull it out. And honestly, I just feel like lately they've had a lot of these close games where they don't pull out. We saw it last year. Last year in Buffalo came to New York on a primetime game like this. Was a Monday night game. It's the season opening game as opposed to week 6 this year. So I don't know. Maybe this is just me just being too historic, too trendy. I'm going to go with the Jets. I think the Jets pull off an upset in this one. I'm going to go Jets win 21-20. Could see it. Rodgers leads a drive, field goal drive to win the game for the Jets, just kind of like what happened to Buffalo last week. So I'm going to go with the Jets to take this one. So that is going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for watching my Week 6 picks here. Drop your favorite picks down below in the comments. What you agree with me, what you disagree with me. Let me know. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this every week now. No more vacations planned upcoming here, so going to be rolling out the picks videos every week here. And like I mentioned, if it wasn't for the Yankee playoff game, would have tried to get Matt on once again tonight, but kind of messed up my schedule here. And we're also going to have, baseball content coming here later this week. Might have another special guest on the channel, talk some baseball as well. As well as, like I mentioned, hockey started up this week and try to talk some hockey. We got basketball, which is really my bread and butter, coming in a couple weeks here. If you're on Spotify, make sure to rate the show 5 stars. Make sure to follow. I appreciate you guys for all your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.